going on, YTPC? Four-Eyed Piper coming at you. Today I've got some fun stuff. Nice Saturday out today, beautiful. The birds are yelling at me, and it's like 75 out here right now. So for New York State, it is quite warm. Very humid. Just beautiful day though. I mean, you can't beat it. Absolutely gorgeous. There might be some yard work going on around us and some motorcycles flying by and stuff like that. For that, I apologize, but that's okay. I will take it any day of the week. I have a first impressions video actually to do, but this one's a little bit special because I just received some tobacco from my good friend RoadGlideSully, and he included one of his own blends that he's calling Border Crossing. And so I told him that I would definitely give him some feedback on that, and I thought what better way than to do a first impression video with you guys, and then I'll smoke a little bit more, and then I'll do a review video down the road. But first, I want to share with you the package that RoadGlideSully sent to me, and he was incredibly generous with the samples that he sent. Of course, the first one that he sent was Border Crossing. It is a vapor with a homemade topping, and I know what's in this topping, but I want to wait and get into the first impression in just a minute. I'll talk to you a little bit about that. And then he included a ton of samples. The cool thing is he put in these Mylar bags that he really likes, and these are able to be opened. They've got a seal here, but then you can actually take an iron and seal this shut if you want to store these long term. So that's really cool. They are absolutely airtight. So let's see what he gave me. Love it. Thanks, buddy. So I've got some Racine and Laramie Burley English, and none of these have I tried yet. Cornell and Deal Billy Bud, which I've been really wanting to try. This is a old-time favorite, some Amphora Virginia. Never tried that, but I know a lot of guys like it. Let's see, this one got rubbed off a little bit, but it's Gowith and Hogarth Louisiana Flake, I believe. That's cool. We got some Cornell and Deal Bayou Morning Flake, which I've tried the Bayou Morning, and this is his everyday smoke, Road Glide. Was a little bit overwhelmed by the amount of perique in it, so I'm curious about this flake version. We've got some Nat Sherman 530 Empire English. Interesting. Cornell and Deal Key Largo. Cornell and Deal 5 o'clock Shadow. I should be showing the tobaccos, I guess. And then some GLP's Jackknife Plug that has already been cut up. So that's pretty cool. Really interested in this Gowith and Hogarth Louisiana Flake. That looks really nice. But anyway, oh, there's one more thing. He also included, and this is a tobacco that you really just can't find in the U.S., some Salty Dog, which is a Navy-style plug, and it's a vapor. So I'm really looking forward to that. It's made by Dan Tobacco out of Germany, and you can open this up. I've never tried any plug tobaccos, so I'm pretty excited for that. I'm going to break the seal here. Wow, the presentation is really cool. Look at this. Looks like a brownie for sure. But wow, that is a tight tobacco. So that's pretty cool. Looking forward to that. So thanks, Brian. I really appreciate it, man. Very, very cool. And I will let you know on all these samples. So let's get into the first impressions. And I don't want to make this too long, but I definitely want to give it its due. So I already took out a little bit of the Border Crossing, and hopefully you guys can see that pretty well. It's nice and dark. The first thing I noticed when I smelled it out of the bag was just a really powerful vinegar smell. He has this cased with, from what I understand, some vinegar, some molasses, and some tequila. And I think I can smell some molasses. There's that kind of that like bitey molasses smell. I don't smell any tequila right now, But we'll see. I took this out about 10 minutes ago. It's super warm outside, and I thought, you know what, it's probably going to dry it up pretty good. And right now it's in a pretty good shape. So I'm going to pack a bowl. The other thing I get to share with you is this pipe, which is cool. It's a nice little Savinelli, and I got this from John Panzer's giveaway a couple weeks ago. Just got it in the mail. Very cool. It's a Savinelli Melita. And this was from Bishop's Pipes. Cleaned up really, really nice. Actually, it's down to the bare wood. Unfiltered, but really nice little pipe. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to use this as a little taster pipe. So let's get some of this packed in. It's nice. It's probably a little bit damp. And I'm going to pack it fairly loosely. See if I can keep this lit a little bit. Let's see. I guess I should be showing you me packing the pipe. But anyway, pack it. I'm not going to pack it all the way up to the brim because I don't want to burn this pipe up. Very cool. All right, let's see. All right, so right off the charring light, it is really sweet. And I told Brian that I would be absolutely 100% honest about this. If I don't like it, I'll tell you. If you get some weird flavors in there, I'll tell you. And I'm pairing this up with a little bit of ginger sparkling water, just to keep my palate nice and fresh. So, right off the charring light, I got this big burst of sweetness. And after 15 minutes, I'm telling you, it wasn't enough to dry this out, because I'm definitely having to light this up again. And it is real hot. So I should have definitely let that dry a little bit more. But right up front, you get a bunch of vinegar flavor, which is really sharp, but it is actually going really nicely with the sweetness that is there from probably the molasses and then the Virginias that he used. It is super, super hot. So I'm wondering if the sugars that we added to this are just kicking up the heat value. So I'm going to take this a little slowly and see where we're at. Already on top, you can see, hopefully you can see, the ash is super, super white. I'm trying to see if I can pick out some of that tequila flavor. But I think the vinegar is overpowering that. It's not unpleasant at all. Actually, that little vinegar note goes right along with the perique in a way that kind of makes sense. I really don't want to use like all the regular language that people use, like it tastes like, you know, stewed fruit or raisiny and all that stuff. But I keep on coming back to kind of this dark sweetness that is definitely the molasses, but I think it's playing along with whatever tobaccos that he used. And honestly, I don't know what he used to blend with. Staying lit now. Of course, I'm chooching on this pretty hard. I'm tasting some red Virginias in there for sure. And now that a little bit of that vinegar flavor has burnt off, I'm getting just a little slight hint of alcohol. But it's still very, very sweet. It's been sweet right from the get-go. I like this little pipe too. So there's the tobacco. Hopefully you guys can see it without the glare on there. You'll notice that there are no bright strands in there at all. It looks red, like a red Virginia or a stoved Virginia, maybe. Definitely you can see the dark Perique in there. I'm not sure how many different Virginias he used in this. If he used multiple Virginias, probably only two, like a red Virginia and maybe then a stoved red Virginia or something like that. It seems pretty straightforward as far as the Virginia flavor, and it tastes like a red Virginia to me. Got a little bit of a burn on the retrohale, but the Perique is very tame. Whereas Bayou Morning kind of burned my mouth. Not burned my mouth, but just gave me that really fiery sensation, like I was eating hot pepper almost. This is pretty subdued. I definitely can see myself going back for another bowl of this. I like just enough Perique to know that it's there, but not enough to just overwhelm your palate. Very interesting, Brian. I think I'll have to play with the amount of moisture that I'm allowing into my bowl. I'll probably dry it out for the next bowl for a good, 45 minutes. We'll go from there, see where we're at. I tend to like my tobaccos much drier, especially in a non-filtered pipe. I'm about a third of the way through this bowl, and I think the flavors are starting to change just a little bit for me. Excuse me. The alcohol flavor is definitely gone. The vinegar note is pretty much gone for me now. There's a nice sweetness, The Perique is definitely there. There's almost kind of a like a cookie-like flavor going on, like a spiced cookie, like a ginger snap cookie. Although I am drinking ginger water, it's not coming from that. I definitely see where people say that there's bready notes in Virginias at times. I'm not getting that quite, not quite a bready, yeasty note. But I am getting kind of a baked good flavor. And odds are that's, you know, from the interplay with the molasses. Very good. Well, this is a long enough video. I'm not going to finish this bowl. I will talk about the end of this bowl in my next video on this. But all in all, I'm going to say that this is probably a 3 out of 5 for me, Brian. For what it was intended to be, I don't know if it gave me the tequila, except for just a little bit of an alcohol flavor. But that was short-lived. Got that little bit of a vinegar note, but I don't think it was quite the McClellan vinegary ketchup-y note. It tasted more like an apple cider vinegar to me, or something that's a little bit more acidic in the beginning. The sweetness was there. I really like the sweetness. The Perique level was great for me, is great for me. But we'll see where this ends up. This is just my first impression, and I'll do a full review at another time. So, thanks for tuning in, guys. Good to see everybody. Until next time, we'll see you later.